Chapter 51, Any other grudges? Let's sort them all out now. Looking at the man with the ear studs, Su Cheng let go of the one he was holding and went up to the guy's face. Just answer the question. If they have the balls to beat an officer up, at least have the balls to admit that you did it. Who hit my colleague? Su Cheng said in a deep voice. The man in ear studs, I don't know. Don't know. Su Cheng's eyes narrowed, and then he directly head-butted the guy in the forehead, sending him tumbling back a few steps and falling to the ground, dizzy. What are you doing? That guy's 5 underlings immediately surrounded Su Cheng, giving off the feeling of I'ma beat yo as if you dare to move. Su Cheng just kicked a guy over and then reached out his palm and slapped the other 4 each once in the face, making them so dizzy that it seemed like the whole world was spinning. After all the 5 men went down, Su Cheng grabbed the man with ear studs up by the collar again and asked, I will ask again, who beat up my colleague? Fuck your mom, the man with ear studs roared. Su Cheng just slapped his face again, knocking 2 of his teeth out. Feeling like the world was spinning, he staggered and fell to the road again. Just then, 24 people immediately came out from the nightclubs. They already had their eyes on Su Cheng when they saw the police cruiser coming in, and now that they saw him starting a fight, they immediately surrounded him and demanded, What do you think you are doing here? Su Cheng looked towards those people. My colleague was beaten up by your North Gate people, and he's still at the hospital. What do you guys think you were doing? So what? A guy came up and stared right into Su Cheng's eyes and said, You offended someone you shouldn't have offended, and we were supposed to beat you up, but you got lucky. Yet, instead of going into hiding, you actually still dare to come to our territory and stir up trouble? Are you tired of living? Okay. Su Cheng faintly smiled. Let's just sort out all of the grudges today. Tell me, who did I offend? Who wanted to teach me a lesson? Then, a bald guy in a tunic suit with a small beard came out from the crowd. First, you offended young Master Yun. Bao went to give you a warning, yet you beat him up. Second, not to mention the trouble you caused at Westgate's casino, you even injured Master Qin, who's still hospitalized, and tainted Westgate's reputation. With just these 2 points alone, we would have sent you along to your next life if you weren't a police officer. Su Cheng couldn't help but laugh. First of all, there's nothing wrong with how I handled young Master Yun's case, as I followed every step of the proper procedure. If you guys really want to seek trouble from me, I wasn't going to sit there and let you crap all over me. And then, you guys couldn't get the upper hand when you tried to bully me, so now you make it sound like I was harassing you and that I deserve a beating, right? Is this how you guys do things? No wonder Northgate is dying day by day. What a bunch of dogs that only know how to bark and bite under the table. What did you say? The 24 or so members of Northgate were all furious. Seeing all of them angered and planning to charge at him, Su Cheng immediately took out his gun and raised it into the air. Freeze! Who dares to move another step? The bald guy in the tunic suit sneered. I don't think you have the balls to pull the trigger. Su Cheng immediately pushed the gun against his head. Want to give it a try? You guys are hindering a police officer performing his duty. Resisting arrest is also a crime, do you guys know that? Then just pull the trigger. Let's see if you have more bullets or we have more people, the guy in the tunic suit narrowed his eyes and said. Su Cheng, just give me the guy, there's no need to blow this up. Hey, that nobody over there, it was me that did it. Just then, a muscular guy standing not too far away whistled and said, Wanna come and arrest me? Su Cheng realized that there were more and more people joining in, almost blocking off the entire street. He couldn't get to the muscular guy at all. Su Cheng pointed his gun at the people in his way and shouted, Move! However, no one took a step back. They all just looked at Su Cheng, their eyes showing no fear, just hints of mockery. Let me tell you, if you end up taking this guy today, then it's like taking a piss on Northgate. The guy in the tunic suit snorted, "If you still insist on arresting him, then we can't promise what will happen next. It's good enough to play the hero once or twice, but if you still want to live a peaceful life in Shangcheng, you should go visit Master Qin of Westgate, apologize, and ask for his forgiveness." Su Cheng looked at the 40 or 50 people surrounding them and asked again, "The police is enforcing the law, are you sure you want to be in the way?" "Yeah, so what?" the guy in the tunic suit laughed. "If you have what it takes then go and get him. I heard you can really fight, but there are also many people that can fight in the enforcement department of North Gate. You want to give it a try?" The enforcement department was the people North Gate relied on to make a living by doing the dirty work for the other gangs and forces in society. These people were trained fighters and the foundation of North Gate. Su Cheng slowly put down his gun. The guy in the tunic suit thought he was scared, and smiled smugly. As Su Cheng holstered his gun, he said, "The bullets won't be enough, but my fists will be." Then, he hurled his fist right into the guy in the tunic suit's face, directly breaking his nose as blood gushed out like a fountain. This immediately ignited the battle. Su Cheng entered the subconscious ultrasound state right away, and within a second, all the motion frequencies of the moving objects were received as feedback and his brain crafted a detailed 3D map of everything around him. Su Cheng didn't show mercy at all, and the explosive strength hidden in his fists and feet immediately unleashed havoc. However, he still kept his power under control, knowing very well that his full strength would definitely be enough to crack someone's brain open. He controlled his fist strength to about 500 to 800 kilograms of force, breaking anything that came into contact with him, let it be fists, legs, elbows, or joints. There's a type of people called human tanks. They are tough and powerful, and other than being possibly stopped by iron or concrete walls, any fleshy body would immediately be destroyed upon contact with them. And this was the state Su Cheng was in. Invincible. With his powerful body, he just met everything that came his way with his fists and legs, simple and brutal. He didn't need any fancy punching or kicking techniques, because it just wasn't necessary. The streets were immediately filled with miserable screams and cries. Of course, Su Cheng was not only equipped with terrifying strength, but he also had the godlike ability of capturing the movements of everyone around him. This was the ultrasonic ability of bats, and the steel pipes or whatever else that were swung at him were all easily dodged by Su Cheng, like he was an action movie hero. He was like a hacker that was scripting and dodging all attacks and abilities, completely stomping the other players. Those guests coming out of nightclubs were all shocked to see a fight this large in scale, 50 to 1, not to mention the one side was winning. This completely left everyone dumbfounded. Su Cheng got so violent that he was too busy to even move his arms anymore. He immediately charged into the crowd, and his terrifying brute momentum was enough to knock everyone in his path unconscious, like a charging bull creating a bloody path wherever he went. After taking out a dozen people with one charge, he picked up 2 steel pipes and began playing whack-a-mole. One strike on each head was enough to deprive them of the ability to keep on fighting. The muscular guy that admitted to beating up the cop could not piss his pants even more. His face turned pale like a piece of paper, and the first thought that came across his mind was run. Su Cheng threw a stick he picked up towards him. The incredible power it carried made the air resistance and gravity completely negligible. The stick flew through the air in a horrifyingly straight line, striking the guy on the back. He puked out blood, fell to the ground, and began twitching. Seeing the North Gate guys laying all over the floor and in the walls, Su Cheng panted, looked towards the guy in the tunic suit, smiled, and asked, "Any other grudges that haven't been resolved yet? Just tell me, let's sort everything out tonight." The guy was so terrified that he forgot how to move his legs. He just stood there in terror as his body shivered.